Hello guys, my name is Anakin Sandman. Today I'm going to talk about the AAF and how they came up through the years and how they downfalled through the years and all that, giving the military rating at the end. Um, we'll start off with the actual AAF first colony that the British have made. These AAF forces are technically a regiment, not really, even really a military. So that's why they have a lot more of the British and Allied gear. Um, these guys are actually well equipped and well at actually having a lot more better gear than compared to the actual AAF that we have in our campaign. If we walk over here to the 2013 AAF forces, they're actually um, a lot more better like geared out and have a lot more better gear for the main reason of it was the golden age and they were not attacked unless if you're in Muslim and you have that different kind of storyline. But right now I'm just going off of the Golden Age, and there's not any evidence that there was a war at that time, so I'm calling it the Golden Age. Um, they have a lot more better gear, a lot more better weapons than the World War II units, of course, and also than the future Altus Rebellion over there. These guys is actually one of my favorite mods, and actually all the AAF forces are technically my favorite faction in game, just because they're in the underdogs and all that fun stuff. But these guys are well outfitted. I'll show you guys the vehicles after I'm done showing you the units. So if we walk over here, we have the actually AAF reserves, and this is also was established during the Golden Era, which actually during our timeline they were actually not established. Let's just say I guess got de-established because they didn't have they didn't have the military funding and stuff like that. To actually keep it going. These guys mostly carried AKs, a lower kind of vest quality that the actual police use. But I guess it was a good National Guard. If we walk over here to the police units, these police officers are outdated. Aren't I just want to say outdated, just have outdated vests, but their pistols are actually Glocks, so I guess it's alright. Um, but these guys have some decent gear compared to the Atlas Special Police Unit. They actually have gear that they all look the same. Again, this was more towards the golden age, or the golden era of the AAF. Before they decided to go to war with NATO, and before they decided to go to war with the CSAT, then NATO. Yeah, a long story. Anyways, that's pretty much the police force there. They have a good, I would say a lot better than the actual AAF, that police units that they got, that was around during after East or during East Wind. If we take a look at the actual East Wind or AAF that we have in our vanilla campaign, they're decent. They only have one officer gear and then one actual gear. You can't really tell whose the rankings are and all that, which I guess if it's kind of a good thing to hide your ranks, but also it would be nice if there's like some uniform change up saying like, hey, this is your sergeant and all that, but you know, low budget cuts and all that, has to change things. If we walk over here to the special forces of the AAF at the time, it's only a diver and a sniper. That's all they had. They didn't really have any other special units like SEAL Team 6 or anything, because again, they're underdogs, they're AAF, and they don't really have anything fancy. If we walk over here, we actually have a special police unit. They actually have the same gear as the military, surprisingly not. Um, but basically, they have like this different camo. It's basically, in my opinion, these are the new reserves. They don't really actually have a real police unit. It's just that these guys are who wipe up the FIA, and these guys worry about the big dogs. Moving on to the Atlas Rebellion, that comes with the NAA mod. These guys are, sore losers over there are these guys now, and they're trying to take back their Altus so they can work with CSAT again. Basically, that's pretty much it. They're just a newer FIA, this with AK and I guess a little bit better looking gear. These are the warlords, and you have your team leader. You just have a rifleman. If we walk over here to my favorite whole part of the faction, the NAA, which is underlooked by the Greece people. And it's actually the government of the FIA that took control, but they're just called the NIA or NAA. You have the actual lot better looking gear than the FIA, and they actually have a lot more funding and supplies and all that. You have your MP, military police, which is actually which replaced, I should say, the guys over there, those police units, with the military police, and then which the new NAA is a democracy, so it's not like the military police is saying, hey, guys, guess what? You're under military rule. It's not like that. It's just that they decided to let the military do it. If you walk over here, you have the recon team leaders. I guess you can say that this is their little special operations unit. Not really, but more skilled, more for recon. Excuse me. If we walk over here to the vehicles, we'll start off with the World War II ones first and move on. You see this tank here is, I think it's a Churchill. I'm probably incorrect. I'll probably get yelled at in the chat by that, but they used the same thing as the British. Basically, anything that the Allies had at that time, the AAF had, or I should say the Colony of Altus had. So the CA. Basically, again, they were a regiment under the Royal Armed Forces. They weren't their own. But and here's another other gear. But yeah, same thing as Allied forces had. We come over here to, well, technically I'm jumping the line. We should walk over here. These are the 2013 vehicles. You have more Russian influence on these guys, on these vehicles here. You have the Ural, you know, the BMP-3, and then you have the Humvee and the Russian MRAP and then artillery, which they're all good vehicles in my opinion. They're really good, but you have the same jet that they've been using for literally centuries, almost. This is 2017, and then I think ARM was based in 2020 or something like that, and they're still using the same jet. If we come over here to the helicopters, they're actually using the CSAT helicopters, or I should say the Russian-based helicopters, which in my opinion they should still be using, but that's my opinion, and I wasn't one of the AAF generals when they were talking about it. Now these are really good CAS helicopters, all-around helicopters for anything what the AAF could be using, but so pretty decent vehicles for the 2013 AAF forces. We walk over here to the vanilla forces that we know of. They actually, the tank that they use is the Leopard tank. It's more based after, it looks to be more based after the Germans' Leopard tank than anything else, but the AAF little twist on it. And then you have the new tank DLC APCs. These are actually really good for like small sectors, patrols, recon, keeping AA, well, having a AA truck and also one of these next to it with a radar is really well, a good thing to have. And then you have your APCs, or even just these two bundle up like with a radar and an APC that with anti-air missiles is a really good thing. This APC here I really like. It's one of my favorites in the game. It is a good all-around vehicle. You can use it just for transport, remove the gun, or you can use it for both gun and transport. If we walk over here to the Warrior, in my opinion, the AAF need to find out traction control because this thing just sucks in game. And the British version is a lot better. And then you have your kind of German kind of MRAP here, based, and which is it's a good MRAP. It's really decent. It's really like a workhorse almost for the AAF. But yeah, it's a good MRAP. And then you have your again Russian kind of trucks here. And then you have your well, looks to be like the same Century or jet here. It works. I don't have anything wrong with the jet. It's just that the AAF, in my opinion, they would have been a lot better off with trying to design a smaller, well, not really smaller, a faster, more reliable jet than using a, I think this is a Swedish design, but yeah, jet. But coming over to this jet, which is one of my favorites, and what I thought the AAF did good by is getting this one. It actually can keep up with enemy threats in the sky, giving us more actual air control. So this is why it's a good jet in my opinion. And you have your helicopter here. This is a Merlin, which is a really good helicopter, good for carrying things, transport, and all that fun stuff. And then you have your Hellcat, a good all-around helicopter. It's just, in my opinion, you should have stick with the CSAT kind of base helicopter. If we move over here to the Atlas Special Police Force, they are using the CSAT APC, which is this unit was built after they betrayed NATO and joined up with CSAT, which they still have a couple NATO vehicles, most likely given before the betrayal or bought on the black market. And again, there's their uniform there, which I would actually have a problem with the uniform. The uniform looks pretty cool. If we come over here to the helicopter they use, is actually a more unreliable helicopter, more from the Cold War, which it does the job, yes, and the Russians still use it, but it's outdated, more outdated equipment, causing more problems. That's why these guys were most focused on the FIA than actually trying, which they're a police force, of course we focus on the FIA instead of trying to help with the war initiative, but yeah. If we walk over here to the NAA, which is my favorite FIA faction, or NAA faction, the best part, the good years of the Altus government is here, which we saw the jet here. In my opinion, again, they should again, my opinion, they should try to at least either redesign it, rebuild it to be faster, better, and more efficient. But at least they have this jet here to make up for that jet there. If we walk over here, they gave them the drone helicopter, which is a good thing, and it gives them a lot more easier for sector controlling, for town controls and all that, and for eliminating targets instead of having your actual manpower having to go out and do stuff. Well, having to go all over the map, I should say. If we walk over here, we have another drone here, which was given by the AF. This comes in this version, or the recon version, or it also comes in the well, one with the turret on top. You have your police vehicles, which is actually a good, decent looking vehicle. I like the camo on it. You have your two Hellcats back here, which is, they're good helicopters. Again, in my opinion, they should stick with the CSAT or base helicopters, but it's whatever. If we walk over here, you'll see that they had the Russian-based truck again, which the truck ain't that bad, 'cause it's actually a workhorse. It gets the job done. And you have the MRAP again, another workhorse, gets the job done. And a good artillery unit. Not the best, but it's alright. And then they have the same APCs, same tanks that we went over, just a lot more better upgrade and not outdated. We'll come over here to the Atlas I forget what they call themselves, but the Atlas Rebellion, which is after the East Wing. And if you're wondering what happened to that guy, I shot him because he looked at me the wrong way. But anyways, both these vehicles are used by the FIA, just different, well, not even really different camos, pretty much the same camos, but that's pretty much it for well, all of this, of the kind of timeline versions. Now I'm going to start scoring the military versions through the years and all that. I give the World War II military regiment, and of that timeline military, about a 8 out of 10 chance of actually winning a war. If we go to the actually 2013, I give them a 9 out of 10 for actually winning a war, because that was their golden era, and they actually had a lot more funding back then than compared to now. we look over to the vanilla version, if you want to say, they had not they it was actually more of a 4 out of 10 because they're so badly crippled, and they have not it's not even really the vehicles, it's actually just the government at the time. If we take a look, the only good thing that they could actually have to actually might win a battle would be their tanks and their aircraft. Everything else, in my opinion, didn't have a big effect on the battle to actually win. If we take a look over here at the Atlas Special Police Force, they on handling hostage situations and all that, they actually had about 4 out of 10, which ain't really good for them. But if we come over here to the NAA forces, they had a 10 out of 10 in military, and they also 9 out of 10 police, because their police is actually very limited to what they have. But if we come over here to the Atlas Rebellion, they're basically like the FIA, so let's give them like a 3 out of 10. What the FIA, which I would schedule the FIA at. It's just a reborn, just a different fighting for a different cause. And that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Like down below, comment, scream at me if you want in the comments. I don't care. And have a nice day.